Hey YouTube, it's Saint Riot. I thought, hey, let's watch this trailer. Not a trailer, this gameplay. Some things I noticed that I wanted to point out that I'm not sure other people have pointed out just yet. We saw almost this fight verbatim, one for one, in the leaked trailer. And right here, instead of casting cool bow and arrow magic, the character used homing soul mass. That has been replaced with cool bow and arrow guy spell. That's awesome. We didn't get to see the cool Dark Souls 1 block into backflip. I love that. It's a nice touch. I'm glad it's back. Charged R2, or charged heavy attack, directly on the head, doing massive posture damage to the, and then boom, you get to take the critical straight out of the Midir boss fight. Very good. Midir, I think, probably one of the best dragon fights Dark Souls ever did. Fan of that. Think it rules. All of that looked awesome. Vadi and a few other folks got to watch this exact gameplay demo like 3 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. But Vadi said that I think he was referring to this part when he said that this was new. There was something that was not in the demo that he got to watch. I think the popularity of the pot guy sort of took From Software by surprise, and so they wanted to include a little bit of Pot Boy in the gameplay demo, which is nice. We all love the Pot Man. He's the best. But we get to see the Dark Souls 3 Bloodborne charged R2 thing continues to exist, or charged R2 follow-up R2 continues to exist, unless those were just regular attacks, but I doubt it. Pot Man, he looks great. He's got cool little scales all over his stony arms, and he's just a cute pot with his arms crossed. We love him, he's the best. I'm going to turn this down so we don't have to listen to the narrator guy talk. No offense, narrator guy. But, this isn't your video, it's mine. I'm Saint Riot on YouTube.com. This reminds me a lot of after you beat Vort, you get to take a look and look at the world that you're about to go explore. This shot right here reminds me a lot of that. I do want to point out, how are you supposed to get to this island? I want to go here. This is like the first place I'm going to go. I bet that there is a dungeon or like a catacombs somewhere around here, and it takes you underground and you come up. Oh, it's going to be great. Somebody said maybe later in the game your mount would be able to cross water. That would also be cool if you could fly, breed a gold chocobo. Hell yeah, let's go. I love that we have the addition of this thing that tells us that it's early day, not because it tells us that it's early day, because we could just simply look. It just looks nice, and it's just, knowing that the day-night cycle thing, oh, I love that. Can't wait. It's like Red Dead Redemption, but when I get off my horse, it's Dark Souls. Oh my god. Game of the year. Couldn't be more excited. Let's go. The map looks cool. I'm hype about how big it is. It looks fantastic. The fact that we can put our own markers down, I've seen people say that this is like Hollow Knight. Breath of the Wild. I've never played Breath of the Wild, but I have played Hollow Knight, where you could do the same thing. You could put your own markers down for points of interest. And I like that. I prefer that type of map exploration over the game telling me where to go, yada yada. The fact that I can be oh, I saw a cool monster over there, and I can go visit it later. That's nice. But also the thing about these games is a lot of times, especially on a first playthrough, I'll come to a fork in a path, and I'm all right, I'm gonna go this way. I need to remember to come back and go the other way. And then I don't remember to do it because so much stuff happens that I forget about the path, the fork in the path, and the route that I didn't take. So it'll be cool to actually have a map where I can be oh right, there was a path over here I wanted to take. The lightning striking out of the ground, not just a good gameplay mechanic, but it's sound logic. That's how lightning works. It's nice to see that. It's a bit of an expansion from... There's a dog over here, by the way. Dog enemy confirmed. Dog enemy confirmed. a bit of an expansion from the Gale Dark Souls 3 lightning mechanic, which is nice. It was a good, it worked. So it's cool to see they improved on it and made it come back. Everybody wants to talk about the stats. What does Arcane do? This stat spot right here, typically, if you're a Dark Souls 3 or a Demon Souls, you would think luck, which is described as being like a human trait. So immediately, my assumption is that Arcane is going to be the magic that allows you to summon the soul summons that you can do. That's just speculation, but there's essentially, intelligence for sorcery, faith for miracles, right? That's Dark Souls. You remember in Dark Souls 1, pyromancy didn't have a stat associated with it, but it was a human thing, and it just scaled with how much you leveled up your pyromancy flame. Then Dark Souls 2 thought that it was a little overpowered, so they tied it to intelligence and faith. To me, this screams of a stat for magic that is something that only humans can do. Like if there was a stat for pyromancers to level up, like putting it here, this is where we would typically find luck. Also notice there's no vitality anymore. That's been co-opted into strength, which is nice. Strength builds need heavy armor, assuming hyper armor and poise will work the same way. So strength, increasing your equip load, that's good. I like that it tells us that, we have a medium load, large load, yeah. Poise, we see that. Discovery was associated with Arcane in Bloodborne. And, again, if this is like taking the place of luck, luck also, item discovery. The fact that it's 10 and this is 110. I will point out that mind seems to have taken the place of attunement. This character has 10 stats in mind, and that's got them 2 memory slots. Memory, mind. I think we can make that connection pretty safely, right? 10 attunement would not get you 2 attunement slots. So hopefully they're a little more forgiving, and you can, it doesn't require as much leveling. 18 vigor in Dark Souls 3 would get you more than 598 HP. Just wanted to point that out. Anything else? I don't think so. This over here appears to be a placeholder. We've seen this before. Placeholder menu. This is all items. This appears to be like consumables, like maybe like food. This appears to be bombs because these are bombs. These are rope bombs. I don't know what this is. Maracas, really good chicken wings, and then arrows over here. We got some prism stones. Got throwing daggers. Who knows what these things are? Who knows? Interesting that they chose to use the sleep arrow here. They just wanted to show it off. I understand. You want to show off your new mechanics. That's awesome. Show them off. But why doesn't the player just do a backstab here? I wonder. Not sure. The fact that you can sneak and shoot an arrow is good. Dark Souls 3 really improved on archery with the short bow and the composite bow. This is sort of adding to that with the, you can crouch and use your bow. I like it. And then you get the Sekiro death blow. That's nice. That was a jump attack that broke this enemy's posture. I would like to point that out. It's not a plunge attack, it's a jump attack. And it breaks the enemy's posture and then opens him up for a critical hit. Straight out of Dark Souls 3, the critical hit. The posture break, not straight out of Dark Souls 3. Sort of out of Sekiro. Magic Wind Sword. Old Wolfed Kumo, whatever this is. We get some hitbox porn right here. That's what that is, hitbox porn. That is another posture break. That teleport attack right there is so awesome. I have no idea what it is. But the hitbox porn on the one attack into the posture break into the dash teleport thing, that's awesome. I've seen some people point out that this looks like power stancing is back. All right, I'll report it I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying it's right, but I will report on it. He's got a right hand and a left hand scimitar. He pulls the bow out of his second right hand slot. Right? The left hand scimitar stayed out. That's more in line with Dark Souls 2 dual wielding than Dark Souls 3 dual wielding. So some people think that means power stance is in for sure. I don't know. I'm just, look, I mean, they're right about the way the weapons are equipped. They're right about that. Does that mean power stancing is in? I don't know. But, yeah. Here we get a jump with the bow and arrow, and that's awesome. I'm into that. Here we finally see our first guard break, not a posture break. That was a guard break. We get the twin blade. I know people have been hype to see twin blades make a return, so that's cool. I'm hype about that. That is straight up out of Sekiro. That is the Red Hat Interior Ministry moveset. It took us 5 games to get the dual wielding Shrine of Storms skeleton moveset. It was in Demon Souls. The player didn't get it until Dark Souls 3. Sekiro was the last game From Software put out, and we're already getting the dope Interior Ministry dual moveset. Jump in the air, 2 swings, and then an L1 type attack. I'm calling it an L1, a left bumper type attack with the 2 scimitars here. Looks great, looks awesome. Super into it. Another guard break into critical. That wasn't a posture break, that was a guard break. People are talking about PvP already. I'm not going to. If you guys are wanting to know about PvP, the first thing I need to see is whether or not 2 light attacks true combo. There's no point. There's no point in talking about any of this until we see how, you know what I mean? 2 attacks true comboed in Dark Souls 3. It was the only game that was like that. Will it carry over? It's likely. It's likely that it'll carry over. But will it for sure carry over? Who knows? And until we see that, anything else is speculation and none of it matters. So, how do you summon in the open world? There's a little thingy right there. And they said that they were going to have places in the map where you could see if people were, like co-oping. So I think what this sort of thing is, I think that this sort of represents like an altar where you can check it and see if anybody has their summon sign down anywhere. And if they do, maybe you can summon them from here. Maybe you can also invade from here. Almost like the short ritual chalice from Bloodborne. It would search all of the chalice dungeons for anybody looking for co-op or anyone who was able to be invaded. Obviously, Dark Souls From Software, they have improved the way their matchmaking works since Bloodborne. So, obviously, I expect this to work a little better. It would essentially be like Wex dust per area for us invaders. Something like that would be perfect. However, I do hope you can still put your sign down, randomly for people to come across just out in the world. But if they want to, they can pull you up from right there. I think that would be nice. There's some, they talk about the multiplayer in this segment here. As far as PvP goes, I'm not saying anything until I actually see. And I mean, we're like 7 days away from the network test, so we'll see something in a few days. And then we'll know. Do 2 light attacks true combo? Do heavy attacks true combo into light attacks? Things like that. Things that, like, absolute fundamentals before I get into, any wild speculation or anything. I will comment, there doesn't appear to be any fall damage. I think that enemy looks awesome. I love this area. I love the trees. I love the gold leaves. I love the wind. There was also some wind during the Pot Boy. It was like really windy. I love that. All of it looks great. That spear looks absolutely so sexy. So sexy. So, we've seen the mechanic where you block with your weapon and then counterattack. You're about to see it with the shield. My chat pointed this out to me. That right there, that little segment right there, you can hear the sound effect of the, hey, I'm doing a counterattack. I will play it for you without any music here in the background. Also, shout out to Mordecai, Elden Ring News, putting the Elden Ring soundtrack from the trailer up on YouTube. Elden Ring OST, 3 tracks from the countdown is the name of the video. Mordecai, just an absolute gentleman and a scholar. But let's listen. We're going to see the character block, and then you're going to hear...
We've come across a boss guarding this area.
That
we'll take it on
noise...
with the help of our co-op partner.
That noise that indicates that was a counterattack, like we've typically seen come out of the swords when they block.
Come across a boss guarding this area.
A little bit of a shing. What is this attack? Is that a weapon art? Kind of looks like a weapon art. Looks like the Crow Quill's L1 also. I love the magic. I love the fact that they swing their wand around. It's incredible. It's so much more interesting than the garbage Dark Souls 3 cast animation. I hated it so much. This looks so much better. Also, the fact that it has that cool sigil that pops up right there before the spell pops off. Look at that. How cool is that? That is the coolest looking thing in the world. Also, I'd like to draw attention to the fact that this Phantom over here buffs their weapon with a, like what we would, Dark Souls 3 would consider a bundle. It's not like a pine resin buff, it's like a pine bundle buff. Watch him. He's gonna rip the bundle. That animation that we're familiar with. Right there. Right here, they stick their hand into the ground. And when they stick their hand into the ground, there's a white ring that pops up. And it looks like the summon magic. Then they stick their hand into the ground, almost like they're going to cast Firestorm. And then they rush towards the enemy like they're doing a heavy attack on a war cry buffed axe. What any of this is, I don't know. But there you see the gold ring pop up. They appear to have claws now. Their hand goes to the ground. And then they rush towards the enemy. Almost like they're doing a heavy attack with Warcry. They've also summoned a dragon head over here. Against Gyobu Masataka Havelwa. Gyobu Masataka Dragon Slayer armor. That spell looks awesome. All of it looks great. Looks incredible. Again with the Gale lightning effect. Look at these spells, man. I hope these spells are doing damage because they look incredible. I would love to see spells come back in a big way. It'd be great. And something other than just like the pew 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 pew. I would also like to point out that your character holds the straight sword, like Dark Souls 2 characters hold straight swords, instead of how Dark Souls 3 characters hold straight swords. When the person jumps down here, they've got a long sword, they're wearing a white cape and a helmet. They get into this dungeon, then there's going to be a fade to black, and during the fade to black, when we come out of it, the player's going to be wearing a blue cloak, and we'll have a broadsword instead of a straight sword. These dungeons, I think these could be like I really hope these dungeons are cool and expansive. You could really, like, they wanted to put an emphasis on everybody being able to beat Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring, they talk about there's not a lot of bosses that are mandatory to beat the game. that's very much like Bloodborne. You only really need to beat 8 bosses to beat Bloodborne. I really hope that dab emote, God, I can't wait. Look, just dabbing. I can't wait to see, like, I hope these dungeons are full of, like, the hardest enemies and mini bosses. You could really turn the challenge up right here in this area, you know, because it's not mandatory. This is optional. You can find some cool optional treasure, weapon abilities, new weapons, new armor. That'd be great. And it gives you a place to, like, turn the difficulty up a notch, which is awesome. Our Firekeeper lady, I hope she's better than the Firekeeper. Like, the Dark Souls 3 Firekeeper, like, has really great voice acting. The dialogue's fine, and the voice actor did a great job. But I wish she felt a little more necessary throughout the course of the game. And the same with, like, Dark Souls 2, Shanalot. I really like how Shanalot doesn't care much for you at the start of the game. Like, she's indifferent towards you. And then the closer you get, the more of an interest she takes in you, you know? I liked that aspect of it, but she didn't feel entirely necessary to the game. I hope this character, the fact that she can come to you at bonfires to level you up, I already love that. Because I don't want to be warping and, like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to fast travel. I don't want to look at loading screens. I want her to be able to just come where I'm at and, you know, hook me up, let me level up. Much prefer that system, like Dark Souls 1 and Sekiro, where you can just level up at a bonfire, you know? Yeah. I mean, this here, you know, first of all, this player's an absolute chump. This is the ballista from Demon Souls Tower of Latria. You can make it through this. You can make it through this, chump. I'm going straight. I'm going for it. I'm going for it when it happens. I'm not taking the side route when I play this. I'm gonna roll straight through the Fool's Idol. It really, I mean, it straight up is like the ballista from the Tower of Latria. It's like 1 for 1. Listen to the firing pattern.
The main route seems risky, so we'll try entering through a back way.
That Estus noise is too loud by half. I really hope they turn that down. That is very annoying. Estus speed appears to be the same as Dark Souls 3. Really wish they would have changed the animation. Like, just reuse the Bloodborne animation. I'm just tired of seeing the Estus animation, you know? Whatever the hell that was, who knows? Lucerne, you know I love Lucerne. They've given it the War Pick weapon art. That's a posture break rather than take the critical. He does a heavy attack to follow up. Right here, we're going to use Mortal Draw from Sekiro. There's hyper armor on Mortal Draw. That's cool. They give every character that we see like 3 different weapons so that we can like really appreciate you know, how much like these weapon abilities are gonna, you know, they want to show off a bunch of them and get us like, what am I even looking at, you know? Somebody pointed out to me that like we don't see a regular great, as much as this guy walks around with a greatsword, we never see just a greatsword R1, which is kind of true, kind of not true. We do get to see a little bit of a greatsword R1. It's when they're fighting the boss. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. I mean, the exploration looks great. There's a jump button. We knew that. You know, there's platforming in these games as always. But now the platforming won't be a huge pain in the ass to perform because you have a dedicated jump button. Great, let's go. We meet an NPC. We'll skip past that. Here we see a standard setup parry. Appears to be the same in the game. Pretty cool. And, I think this is it, right? We're about to get into the boss fight. Yes, we're about to get into the boss fight. There's several mechanics. It's strange to me that they were cool showing off all these reused animations, and I don't mind. I don't mind the reused animations at all. Could you imagine if every day you went to work, you had to spend the first few hours making your desk again, or like making your own box cutter? You had to spend the first few hours at work. You know what I'm like? That's so stupid. It's just reuse the animations. No, oh my god. I'm not. It's stupid. It's stupid. Anyway, they show us all these reused animations, and then they don't show us going through a fog wall. They made the conscious decision to not show the fog wall animation, which I thought was strange. They fade to black, and then they fade back in. So, there's a bunch of cool mechanics that we get to see in this boss fight.
Mighty dragon, thou art a true-born heir. Lend me thy strength.
The cutscene is cool. I just, you know, I'm not here to watch cutscenes. So, the first thing we're going to see is the block with the weapon, and then they're going to use the counterattack. However, they miss. The counterattack misses. But the counterattack is a greatsword R1. And then they follow up the greatsword R1 counterattack with another greatsword R1. R1 light attack. They, I play on PlayStation. It's R1 to me. To you, it might be right bumper. It might be light attack. Whatever. That's what they follow it up with. That's what the counter-strike is. That attack has obviously got like some significant posture-breaking aspect to it. It does a lot of posture damage. But the follow-up attack right here is just a standard, you know... That's just a standard greatsword, light attack. That's the second light attack on a greatsword. So we get to see that. Some soul summon magic. This fella here with the kind of onion knight helm is using like a flail. It almost looks like some nunchucks, which is pretty cool. Hopefully that's a weapon players can get. Very much like the old Moonlight, apparently you're able to charge this ability. We can see the ability start. It appears to be ready to swing right there. There's apparently, I didn't know this, Renji, the person who made the Ashes of Ashina mod for Dark Souls 3, I think that's what it's called, was talking about on Twitter how you could overcharge spells in Dark Souls 3, and they just didn't implement it. But in Dark Souls 3, you were able to overcharge spells, and then they just never implemented it for any of the spells, except for Dark Souls 3, The Ring City, Old Moonlight allows you to overcharge it, and that's what we're seeing here. The ability is ready to be used here, but the player opts instead to overcharge. And there you go. Looks cool. Right here, the player has switched from a greatsword to a straight sword. This is, I'm holding, I'm two-handing a greatsword right here. And right here, I'm two-handing a straight sword. And the straight sword has like a quick step dodge attack, which is, I assume it's the straight sword. Whatever, it looks great, looks awesome. You're also going to see, after the quick step, they do an attack, and that attack is a Bloodborne attack. This is a Bloodborne follow-up after a quick step. As opposed to in Dark Souls 3, if you press quick step and then press R1, you do a neutral standing R1 light attack. Sorry. If you press quick step and then press attack, you do a neutral standing light attack. In Bloodborne, if you do a quick step and press attack, you do a quick step attack. You do a dash R1. That's, this is what you're going to see here. You're not going to see a neutral attack. You're going to see essentially a backstep R1. I think the player character pretty much just gets their ass kicked for the rest of this. So, yeah, it looks great. I can't wait. Big Dark Souls. Let's go. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. I hope maybe I showed you something that you hadn't seen before. Network test in just a few days. Oro, Peeve, Prod, a few others already have access to Elden Ring's network test. I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous at all.
Brief introduction to Elden Ring's fundamentals.
We'll be there soon.
More details.
Just a few days away. Thanks for watching my video. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you learned something. I will see you guys in about 6 days. I will see you guys in about 6 days for the network test. Assuming I get picked. I better get picked. If I don't get picked, I will burn my own head down. Until then, later, y'all.